has lights on it. The gauge is working. The gauge also correlates with what we can see on the cylinder. We feel like everything's working well here, okay? Pack lights. There are lights on this pack here and here on either side. They will flash green with normal status. You'll see there's the pass pre-alert, which is flashing red. When the pass actually goes off, I believe it's a faster flashing red. They will also change based on your air status. So again, green right now because you have good air. Once you get to half, they will turn amber and start flashing, and then that third, they're going to flash differently, etc., etc. A quick note, if you haven't noticed it already, your regulator not only has the HUD for you to see, but it also has an indicator that everybody else can see. So right now it's green, meaning that you have good air. When you get to half, it would turn yellow, amber, whatever, and then it would turn red at a third. Obviously, your vibe alert would be going off at that time too, which is not only an indicator to yourself, but everybody else can also hear that. Okay, pack lights are functional. So the next one is to don the mask. We're going to verify a secure fit, verify that we can speak through the mask with no significant vocal distortion. So no voice amplification on these at all, but it does have speech diaphragms. It actually has two of them, which are similar to what we have in the inner spiro. The inner spiro just has one. These have two. They're on either side. You can see them there. Those little grates or vents, they almost look like. Anyway, your voice should pass through those clearly. There shouldn't be any significant distortion. It's not going to sound, it might be a little bit muffled, but you shouldn't have any problem speaking through the mask. So you're going to put the mask on. Head harness down as far as you can. Bottom straps, temple straps, everything feels good. I can cover this and you can still hear me, which is directing all of that voice out of these, so it all works, right? Okay, so the next item on there is to connect the regulator to the mask. We're going to verify that it connects smoothly, so nothing hitches or grabs or anything like that. You can smoothly rotate on there. We're going to verify that the HUD lights are functional, which we've already done. We're going to verify that the when I inhale, the airflow activates appropriately. So that first breath activation. And we're going to verify that the purge valve works. Okay. After that, I am going to breathe down the system here. So there's air on the system. We've charged it, but remember I shut the cylinder valve off. So now, as I'm breathing, that's just taking the air, whatever air is in here, what's in the hoses, etc. Well, I'm going to do it slowly enough that I can make sure that these HUD lights operate properly. So I want them to actually turn yellow at a half, turn red when my vibe alert goes off, etc. Right? So I'm verifying that the HUD actually functions. Not that it's just showing me colors right now, but that it actually goes down as my pressure goes down. So we're going to do that and verify the vibe alert, and then I'm going to take my mask back off and finish this up. So here we go. Alright, I'm to a yellow light, so that's about half. Here's my vibe alert. My purge works. And I'm out of air. I just sucked it to my face. But all the lights worked. My purge valve worked. My first breath activation worked. My HUD is functioning properly. So all that stuff that I just talked through, we just did there in that 15-20 seconds, right? Okay. The pass. We need to verify that the pass can be activated both from inactivity, which is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to let this sit till the pass goes off. Okay, double click the yellow to deactivate. And then we're going to manually set it off. So I'm going to push the red button, and then I'm also going to reset it.
You know what? I'm gonna.
Again, double yellow to reset. So pass works. Remove mask and discharge remaining air. I think I'm going to move that one up above the pass. All of these items on here seem appropriate, but I might reorder the last one here, the last couple. Okay, so it will be read down to make sure your vibe alert works, and then I'll say remove mask and discharge remaining air, and then it will be check the pass, and then we're going to turn off the pack. So just be aware, it's going to change slightly, but you know what the change is going to be because I just told you. All right, so pack is off. We've done everything we need to do. Double click the yellow. Good to go. And then we're going to complete the whole check by doing the cylinder, our cylinder, which again is that 4074. It's clean. There's no soot, insulation, dirt, or other debris present. And if there was, we've cleaned it before proceeding. The cylinder is functional and undamaged. Verify the cylinder connections are undamaged and free of debris. Verify the hand wheel is intact and undamaged. Verify that the gauge is easily readable. Verify there's no chips, cracks, dents, unraveling fiberglass, abrasions, or heat damage. You've probably noticed on our Interspiros packs that there's some metal stickers on a lot of them that are coated with epoxy. That is a requalification sticker. Basically what happens is either after a severe damage to the cylinder that is repairable, so there's 3 levels of damage, level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is basically superficial damage. Level 2 is damage that removes the cylinder from service but is repairable. And then level 3 is severe damage that cannot be repaired and the cylinder must be condemned, right? So level 2 damage, after the repair is complete, the cylinder must be taken to be hydrostatically tested. The cylinders also must be hydrostatically tested irrespective of condition every 5 years. And the theoretical life is 15 years. That's what's approved through NFPA. I know there's agencies that are using them that are 20 and 30 years old, but we stay within the NFPA regulation, as do most large departments. It protects us from some liability, and it's a industry standard, kind of a best practice to stay within those guidelines there. So anyway, we do that. So every 5 years, this cylinder is going to go up to Elwood Fire Equipment, or if we find a different vendor, we will do that. Elwood Fire has been really good to us so far, though. It's going to go to Elwood Fire Equipment, and they're going to hydrostatically test the cylinder, which means that they take the cylinder valve off, they put it down in a bigger cylinder that's full of pressure transducers, and that cylinder is full of water. They fill this with water and they pressurize it to, I think it's 1.5 times the rated pressure. So this is a 5,500 pound cylinder rating. It'll go to 5775 if I'm doing my math right there. No. 50, no. 8, no. It'll go to 80, 25, 82, I'm not mathing right now. Anyway, it's going to go to 1.5 times 5,500 PSI. And it's going to get pressurized there. It has to hold for a certain amount of time, and it can only expand so much. So that's after a level 2 repair and or every 5 years. So anyway, all of that coming back around, that metal sticker that they put on there must remain in place to indicate every single time one of those hydrostatic tests was performed on the cylinder. So there's an initial one when it's manufactured, and that's actually dated on the label. And then every time a subsequent test is performed, a label must be affixed to the cylinder, and it must remain in place until the cylinder is taken out of service. And if one of those becomes obscured or damaged to the point that it can't be read, or if it goes missing, and then there were an incident involving one of these cylinders,
we could be in some serious trouble. So that's on this list that you need to be aware that if that sticker's there and it's damaged somehow, or there's an obvious spot where it used to be and it's missing, just be aware. Be looking out for it. That said, the next thing on here is verify that the cylinder protective sleeve is undamaged and securely in place. We talked about that earlier. This sleeve right here, I think, is going to save us a ton of damage, and it's also going to protect that sticker if and when that's in place there. I guess when, because we will have these longer than 5 years, so we'll at least get one test out of them for sure. So hopefully that protects all of that, and we'll just have to worry about if the sleeve itself gets damaged, catching that in time and replacing it before any more damage happens. So keep an eye on all that. But so you're going to verify that the cylinder protective sleeve is undamaged and securely in place. And then the last thing on here is only for these snap change cylinders, we're going to make sure, like I said at the beginning, that the CGA cap is in place, in good condition, and that it's securely over this CGA threaded connection here. Obviously for the cylinders that we have that are not snap change, that's the only connection on the cylinder, and it will be what's being used to fill whatever it's filling. So it won't have one of these caps. But for these snap change cylinders, this cap is pretty important. So pay attention to that. And then the last thing will be, you're going to indicate whether the cylinder is full, and then you're going to note the pressure. And